So IPE stands for Interprofessional Education. In this context, IPE is between our medical school, TCOM, and our PA program. This is something that's never been done before at TCOM or in the UNT HSC to this extent.
IPE is a critical part of the education that students receive here at HSC, where they learn how to interprofessionally collaborate together within the roles that they have and the type of clinical careers they're going to have to maximize healthcare outcomes. So in 2023, Dr. Selby and myself were at a healthcare simulation conference with the simulation team here at HSC, and we got this idea about how we could have an IPE-based simulation so that we could bring TCOM DO students together with PA students in a way to allow them to learn about each other's roles and responsibilities and in a simulated environment.
PA Park had approached me about a need from their department, which was to be able to really teach students about the role of a PA and the role of a physician and how those two roles collaborate together in practice.
So I graduated from UNT HSC in 2012. Whenever I came through, we had simulation, but not to this extent. We didn't have a beautiful simulation center like this. And we did not work outside of our own medical school program, so I did not have any interactions with PAs. PAs I work with closely now in the emergency department setting, and so having that experience beforehand, I think is going to be instrumental to our student population.
I didn't really have a lot of expectations coming in. We were kind of kept in the dark on purpose a little bit as to what we would be encountering today, just to make it more of a real life scenario as if we were walking into an emergent situation. And so this exceeded what expectations I did have. Everybody was kind of assigned a role for the simulation. And then while we were paired and being paired, we had an opportunity to kind of debrief what was going to be going on throughout the simulations that we were going to encounter for the day.
I was a part of the first simulation group, so we had a patient come in. She was a young woman. She had a ruptured ectopic pregnancy, so it was managing her shock and making sure the patient was stabilized. But IPE allows us to talk to other professions, learn about other professions, ask questions in a safe space, but also really be able to interact with them and gain some sort of understanding in terms of what it'll look like out there in clinical practice.
It was amazing to see the physician's assistant students take roles that I personally wouldn't expect them to take. And so it's an amazing opportunity to take a step outside of the books and put into practice what we're learning, and not only put it into practice, but to observe other students that we'll be working with in actual clinical scenarios to see what they've been learning and all of the successes that they'll have as well.
To be able to actually work with TCOM students and to see the dynamics of our roles that way play out was really helpful. Having the opportunity to do this now instead of later is going to make me a better provider in the long run.